What's up, guys? Swapping a sole is a great way to create a one-of-a-kind shoe. Today, Neil is going to show you how to perform a sole swap.
What up, guys? My name's Neil. I'm the director of schools here at the Shoe Surgeon. Today we're going to be doing a sole swap on these Jordan 1 OG Core Purples. In order to perform the sole swap today, the tools that we're going to use are contact cement, acetone, marking pens, a horsehair brush, a 1-inch chip brush, flathead screwdrivers, a scratch awl, a hook awl, a claw hammer, a bone folder, a piece of Malaysian crepe, thread snippers, lasts, and heat gun. Alright guys, so let's get started. First thing you're going to do is remove your laces and your insole. Then we're going to use a scratch awl. What I'm going to do with the scratch awl is place it under the thread, pick one of the threads to the outside, and then tug on it, begin releasing the thread as I go. Alright, so what we're going to do next is remove the soles. For the purpose of this video, we're going to imagine that the left foot is going to be the donor shoe, and the right foot is going to be the shoe that's going to be receiving the sole swap. The donor shoe, what we're going to do is remove this with acetone. The right foot, we want to preserve the upper, so we're going to do a different method of removing the sole, which will be with heat. But first I'll start with the acetone. Just pour it in, and what you want to do is make sure that you swish it around and it soaks up where the sidewall meets the shoe. You'll know when you have enough acetone inside because the sides of the shoe will feel cold. I'm going to set a timer for 20 minutes. And once that's done, we'll begin to remove the sole. So now what we're going to do is remove the sole from the shoe that's going to be receiving the sole swap. What you're going to need for this is going to be a 1/4-inch flathead screwdriver and our heat gun. So what we're going to do is we're going to heat the 1/4-inch screwdriver using the heat gun. At the same time, we're also going to be letting the heat hit the sole. So basically, stick the screwdriver in and separate the sidewall of the sole with the upper. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is remove the sole from the donor shoe. Our 20 minutes is up. Let me grab those. First thing you want to do is soak out, make sure, or like shake it up, make sure any acetone isn't still in the shoe. And what I like to do is squeeze test to make sure that it's soaked up good enough. So when you squeeze it, it should begin separating from the sidewall. All right, now I'm gonna take my bone folder. I'm gonna find a spot that's separated, and I'm just gonna insert the bone folder and begin to twist. Never point the tip of the bone folder towards the sole, point it in towards the leather. Okay. I've separated the sidewall from the upper. I like to separate from the back forward because the air unit attaches somewhere in the middle here. If you pull from the front back, you might separate the air unit as well from the sole. This way, if you go this way, you don't have to worry about that. All right, so now what we're gonna do is go ahead and clean up any of the residual glue. If you don't have one, you can use sandpaper and rub the sidewall with the sandpaper. Same thing along the upper. When you're using your rotary tool to clean up the upper, do not hit the stitching that goes along the bottom of the shoe. All right, now that I cleaned off all the glue, I inserted the last into the upper. Next, what we're gonna do is sit the upper inside of the sole, and we're gonna make our glue line around the perimeter of the upper. Using your marking pen, you're going to make a line around the perimeter of the shoe where the sole meets the upper. Alright, next, we're going to take our contact cement and our 1-inch chip brush and apply contact cement to the sole and to the upper. Most important thing is when putting it on the sole is that you get it up to the top of the sidewall. When you're applying contact cement to the upper, you want to make sure you hit the line that you made and brush down. Next thing we're gonna do is stick the sole and the upper in the oven. Don't use your regular oven at home. We use a convection oven because it provides an even amount of heat around the shoe. If you use a baking oven, it might just burn the bottom of your shoe. All right, when I took the sole and the upper out of the oven, I stuck the upper to the sole beginning with the toe, and I worked my way back. Then I took my claw hammer and I hammered the sides and the perimeter of the sole to the actual upper just to reinforce that stick. All right guys, sole swap complete. Do this at home, make yourself something unique.